Though we have all traveled many uncertain roads, we have always recognized something wasn't right. We searched high and low, yet our paths had never intersected. Our desire to seek truth, then to speak true, has brought us all together. That thing of ours is rooted in truth, because truth is the only unshakable foundation. In the greatest book, it states in John 8:32, "For ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free."
Truth is a powerful force. It is the foundation on which all great achievements are built, and the bedrock of trust and respect in any relationship. When we are rooted in truth, we can be confident that our decisions and actions are grounded in reality rather than in speculation or wishful thinking.
The pursuit of truth is not always easy. It requires courage, perseverance, and a willingness to face uncomfortable facts. But in the end, the truth is always worth it. It allows us to make better decisions, to build stronger relationships, and to create a more just and equitable world.
From politics and world events to entertainment and pop culture, we've got you covered. We'll explore our history and the stories that matter to uncover the truth that lies at the heart of each one. With our fingers on the pulse of the news cycle, we'll provide the insights and analysis you need to stay informed and engaged. As we stay rooted in truth and let the truth guide us in all that we do, let us be willing to listen, to learn, and seek out the facts, even when they challenge our own assumptions or beliefs.
Let us never forget that the pursuit of truth is not just an individual endeavor, but a collective one. Only by working together
With honesty and integrity,
can we build a better future for ourselves
And for generations to come.
This
is That Thing of Ours. How's it going, everybody? Thank you for joining us today on this Wednesday, 30th of July, 2025. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for joining us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Rumble, Locals, and Pill.net.
and if you haven't already, please take a minute and give us that virtual hug. If you're over on Rumble or YouTube, hit that thumbs up. If you're over on pill.net, take that red pill. And if you're on Facebook, you got like 7 choices, so clickety-click away.
Clickety-click, everybody. We appreciate all of you joining us. Oh, I'm still trying to get computer stuff working. For some reason, Pill wasn't playing nicely. Anyways, hope everybody's having a good day. Looks like we got a bunch of the fam showing up, and
Yeah.
Liberty raided us. Thank you for that raid. Truly appreciated. All right, let's go ahead and get to it. There he is. Hey, C Strike. Thanks for coming in.
Got Angie in the house.
There's Ange. Hey, Ange.
Liberty rating.
Liberty rating. There we go. Thank you, sir.
The beautiful Steph.
Good evening. How are you doing, Steph? Howdy.
And there's our local CIA agent.
What's up, Mike? Hope everything's going good over there, man.
And our wonderful friend to boot.
Yes, without a doubt. Oh, man. All right. So it's Wednesday and
Hump day.
hump day. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Yes, I had my ears lowered. Thank you for noticing. Much appreciated.
He did.
I did. Yeah. Actually,
There's
Tan, I did it.
Nevada Cowboy fan.
Hey, Nevada Cowboy fan. Thanks for joining us. Long time no see. Hope everything's going good with you. Nice. Sweet. All right.
You ready?
I'm waiting on you.
Okay.
I ran out of things to say, believe it or not.
Would you read that, please?
Certainly. All right. Kash Patel finds thousands of Russia hoax documents in burn bags in secret room, including classified annex to the Durham report.
And there's Silver, too.
Hey, Silver. There you are. What's going on? Thanks for joining.
Okay. Now.
Is this a reader?
Yep. This is, I don't think there's, yep. This is a reader.
Okay. So there's a lot going on there. So just going to read the first part of it here. All right. FBI Director Kash Patel found thousands of Russia collusion hoax documents in burn bags in a secret room at the FBI, Fox News reported. One of the documents in the burn bags included the classified annex to the John Durham report that includes the underlying intelligence he investigated. CIA Director John Ratcliffe is expected to declassify the annex to Durham's final report and send it to Senator Grassley, who will release it to the public. Fox News also reported that Kash Patel and his team of investigators discovered a previously undiscovered skiff at the FBI headquarters. Okay, so burn bags, basically, long story short, it's a trash bag for classified material that ends up getting destroyed in any number of ways. Burn bag would indicate sometimes they set it on fire, but however they do it, they do that. And then the classified skiff, which is a sensitive information facility where they hold classified material, but it shouldn't be unknown to those in the upper echelons. Hey, Carol, thanks for joining. All right, where's
Dawn will be here in a minute.
All right.
I know you're waiting patiently.
Okay. Well, anyway, so not good news for the people who have this secret facility inside of the FBI's headquarters. That's not going to work out well. The fact that it didn't get that any of that information in there didn't get destroyed. See, a lot of it sounds a little convenient to me, but at the same time, who knows how things would have or could have happened. Maybe they felt like they could continue to play their games, thought they could keep their little secret facility secret. But either way, it has been found, and I'm sure that there's a treasure trove of information in there. So we shall see what's going on with that. But more damning evidence why Kash wouldn't have had access to the classified portions of the Durham report is kind of beyond me. But we'll see what all comes out about it. A lot of this stuff could just be spy games to let people know, okay, we're about to release this, we're going to do this, get people kind of nervous and off of their game by releasing this information. Okay, what kind of information did they find? It's probably going to create more panic in DC for those who intend on stopping what President Trump and co are doing. Silver says, I got you on the big screen while I do some yoga stretches. Yoga's good for us. I can appreciate that. It's good for the body. I know I should probably do yoga again. Liberty says, your stream isn't the only one that personal emojis don't work on. Okay, good to know. Thank you. Other streamers' emojis don't work either. They all say follow button. Well, ain't that something?
Hey, Fire.
Hey, Fire. Thanks for joining. Appreciate you stopping in. A skiff is not uncommon. No, a skiff is not uncommon, but a skiff that the powers that be don't know about within a headquarters building would be something that's because as I was going through the story, it sounds like it was one that wasn't really an authorized skiff. It sounds like it was more of a skiff to work for the deep state as I was reading through that. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that that's true, but if they were hiding a whole bunch of information from this administration, then that would certainly be a bad thing. Just home from work. All right, well, good deal. Interesting. So, yeah, we'll see how all that stuff turns out. Yeah, it does sound like a good spy novel, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And we get the chance to live through it. How exciting for all of us, right?
Yes. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Would you please read this?
The real Russian conspiracy. Turley explains how media and Clinton campaign derailed Trump's first term.
Let's listen.
I did everything the doctor told me. Kegels every day. I even set reminders.
After this ad, do your Kegels.
I almost burned my old shoes. That's how sick I was of the pain.
Don't
Foot
burn
pain,
your shoes.
knee
That's a
pain,
terrible
back
idea.
pain.
Probably get in trouble.
Barack Obama decided to, it looks like, massage, manipulate, and manufacture intel.
Well, Laura, we're finally seeing parts of the timeline filled in, and it's creating a very damning picture. Remember, in July 2016, John Brennan went to Obama and briefed him that Hillary Clinton was going to invent this Russian collusion theory to distract from her email scandal. And so that was back in July. And then we now know, because of recently declassified material, that months later, it was Brennan who intervened, overruled people at CIA, and put the Steele dossier, this infamous debunked report, into the assessment being used by the Obama White House at the very end of Obama's term. That helped seed this whole Russian collusion investigation that the FBI then used to effectively derail the first term of President Trump. Now, what's fascinating about this, Laura, is that they're saying that this is coming from foreign sources that heard that the FBI was going to be part of this. This is before the rollout, essentially, of this plan. This is the real Russian conspiracy. There wasn't a Russian collusion conspiracy. This is that conspiracy of people that seeded this investigation and intentionally kept it going, even lying to the courts. One person pled guilty to the crime of lying to the FISA court. And so these details are very important as they fill these things out. And Laura, just to finish this up, it's fascinating, the response of the media with the Russian collusion narrative that was funded by the Hillary Clinton campaign secretly. They denied that they funded the Steele dossier, but they took that, didn't question it. And it turns out that all these other people had heard about Hillary Clinton's plan, but these reporters that got Pulitzers for this didn't seem to bother to pursue those types of leads.
Didn't seem to pursue those types of leads. How interesting. All right. So there was at the very beginning. Oh, by the way, hey, Cal Bear, thanks for joining us. We appreciate you. Let's see. What is that? Oh my gosh. Okay. Anyways. So the point in the beginning there was that he said that Brennan, I think it was, informed Obama that Clinton was going to do this. So if Brennan is saying that, or if Brennan is caught saying that, then that means that there's only one more person that's necessary to involve Obama in what would be some kind of a conspiracy. Now, whether or not that's a treasonous conspiracy is up for the courts to determine. But based off of my non-legal understanding of the law, I'm going to say it still sounds like it's going to not look good for President Obama once all this information comes out. Calbear says, wasn't that Kevin Klein Smith who pled guilty?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I have no idea.
It was Jonathan Turley. That's all I know.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. That's the best I got.
Yeah. You ready?
I don't know. Yeah, please, let's move on.
Listen.
All right.
When the last time you actually prayed for God to bless the people that's talking bad about you? God, I don't have a lot of nice words, but I pray that they would have an encounter with you. I pray that the spaces and places where they're empty, that you would fill them up. At this moment, I want to fight, but I thank you that you fight for me. And so at this moment, Father, whatever has led them to be in that position, I thank you, Father God, that you would prosper their heart, their mind, their family, and that you would get the glory out of their life at some point and some way and somehow. I can't see it right now. I know your ways are not my ways, and your thoughts are not my thoughts. In Jesus' name, practice praying for people you don't like.
Thoughts?
I know we do that a lot around here, and it's a good practice. I know that it actually helps me with forgiveness for a lot of things that go on, because I know that my prayers are heard. And so when I pray for the people that have wronged or just whatever, fill in the blanks there for however it works in your scenario, and we pray for them, it actually heals us. It heals me, most certainly, because I recognize it's yet another way in which I can run to the cross, in which I can take my burdens and throw them at the feet of our Creator. And I know that He's got it. And I know that because people probably prayed those same prayers for me and it changed me, I know that it has the same power and even more so for many of the people that have done so many things. And I know that as broken and backwards and upside down as this world is, that the more prayer we put into this world, the better we chance we have of getting everything turned right side up again. The world got upside down after it was right side up, and that means that it can switch again. And that's what I pray for. I pray that the world actually gets healed, and that these people who have been causing all of these hurts and pains in everybody's life across the whole planet. I know that these changes are actually coming, because I know that I'm not the only one praying for these kinds of changes. And as more and more people turn to God, that these prayers get stronger and stronger every single time. So, you know what? It's all a faith game, and I pray, and that's the best thing that we can do.
That's the only thing we
It's the only thing we can do. It's not up to us.
Yeah. You ready?
Yeah.
Would you read that, please?
No Autopen. President Trump proves to be totally pro-veteran with latest move. Thank you. Is this a video?
Thrilled to sign the
yeah.
VA Home Loan Program Reform Act into law. And that is something that they've wanted to do for a long time. This legislation provides desperately needed relief to veterans and their families who have fallen behind on their mortgages, of which there are a lot, because we have somebody that doesn't want to lower interest rates and probably won't lower them today. It's a really sort of an amazing situation. And it helps keep our promise to end veterans' homelessness. And we're going to do that for America. We're going to do that for our great veterans.
Thoughts?
All right. So sounds like it's more to keep veterans from losing their home because their inability.
It's also going to help people, veterans buy
homes. Really?
buy homes.
Well, that would be nice, because the GI or the VA home loan hasn't worked for us yet, and we've met the requirements multiple times when we've applied. So
Now they can no longer disqualify you based on your credit.
But the thing is our credit has been to the point, just because y'all need to know our financial situation here, but it's we've been screwed over time and time again, and we've met the requirements more than sufficiently, and I don't know why. I have my ideas and suspicions, and maybe one day we'll find out that truth, huh?
Could be your mouth.
I mean, it could be my mouth, but then again, I wasn't raised to keep my mouth shut either.
There's that.
And nor should I. Was it Thomas Paine? He who dares not offend cannot be honest. I don't know. Calbear says he's right. Powell didn't lower the rates. Yeah, I know. Powell didn't lower the rates at all. It is what it is. But you know what? I know that many veterans have been screwed and have not been able to follow through with that home loan guarantee. It's not as guaranteed as they made it sound. Kind of like how they used to tell everybody that you're going to have medical care for the rest of your life. And that one never followed through with that one. Surprise, the government makes promises it doesn't keep. But you know what?
There you go.
If we can actually get the veterans the homes that they need, especially if they're not trying to buy ridiculous ass priced houses, so many of these people, they get out, they go buy houses with stated income and all this other crap. And it's like, okay, you're allowing these people who are doing shady things to include those people who aren't even citizens of this country to be able to lie and get homes and all this other stuff. Yeah, it kind of sticks in my craw a little bit that those things are allowed, yet these guaranteed home loans for people who put their life on the line and they can't get homes. And then we look at veterans as if they're somehow less because why can't you just get a home? Why can't you do this? Why can't you do that? Maybe because there's been people like the Obamas and the Clintons who have been ensuring that those guarantees and promises that the government gave aren't actually followed through. And I know that this is one more of those things that's actually going to get followed through with. It might actually work for the people who don't like playing the game that they want played.
Well, one of your besties has.
Yeah. Thanks, Mike. Yeah, I'm not illegal.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'd have a home a long time ago. Wouldn't even have to pay the mortgage.
Right? You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Would you read that?
Trump's EU trade deal was so tremendous, American media outlets, didn't get that one done right, okay, let's try this again. Trump's EU trade deal was so tremendous, American media outlets are criticizing it for being too good. Is this a video or is it? Okay, good. All right, here we go.
The early reviews are in on the new trade deal announced with the European Union. The Financial Times says the deal marks a victory for Trump.
Well, while we're doing that, Jenny!
Watch out for the frogs, Jenny.
The early reviews are in on the new trade deal announced with the European Union. The Financial Times says the deal marks a victory for Trump.
Well,
And they hated saying that.
well, of course they hate saying that, and now they're trying to say it's too good of a deal. Oh, he's giving he's giving them the business. It's too good of a deal. We're screwing over our allies. No, we're not. They've been screwing us over forever and a day under the deals that were made. That were probably worse than NAFTA ever was. And so it's like, okay, well, we've been paying for your entire economy and your defense and all of these other things this entire time. Guess what? It's time to pay the piper, and it will be done through these trade deals. And you know what? You cared about you. Now we get to care about us. So sorry if your stuff is going to be overpriced, just like you've made sure that our goods haven't been able to been purchased because they were overpriced over there. You know what? I guess what's good for the goose is good for the gander. So yeah, I'm glad that we're going to be getting some winning on all of this stuff right now. Mike says, what? Trump was right again? Yeah, I know. Surprise.
Surprise. Goodness gracious. And CNN just hates saying anything nice about him.
It
just must stick in their throat.
Yeah, how's that crow taste?
Yummy.
Gross.
Ready?
Yeah, don't do things where you have to eat crow.
Right?
Try not to, anyways. Let's see. Fox News host. Jeez Louise, what is with my eye? It's not working today.
I don't know.
Okay, let's get this done again. Okay, Fox News host breaks out laughing after watching Cory Booker's Senate tantrum.
It's actually hilarious.
Is it a good tantrum? I didn't get to see this. I didn't realize. I don't watch
When
the
Bill
videos
Clinton
anymore.
took office on January 20th,
okay, here we go.
1993, at age 46, he was the
Is
first.
this an ad?
How do
Is it an
celebrities
ad?
drop
Oh,
weight
geez.
so fast? Stop scrolling for a second.
Well, we know
I've got
how.
something simple for you to do.
Adreno something or other.
This is ridiculous. This is an attempt to kill all of these bills. I don't know why.
Reserving the right to object. Senator from New Jersey. I'm confused by my colleague because she knows I don't object to her two bills.
don't know.
And I will note that Senator Booker objected to my police reauthorization bill, the cops funding, the Clinton cops funding, long before Donald Trump came into office.
This is outrageous.
Martha.
Well, I mean, it is outrageous. Like Amy Klobuchar is like, she's like, I can't help it if someone couldn't change their schedule to be there. She's drilling into him because he wasn't even there for the vote. And then he goes, well, I had a conflict. Like, wait, aren't you a senator? So wouldn't that be the most important thing to do your job, to show up for this vote? But they're all pontificating over each other because they can't figure out which lane they should be in and how far they should go. Cory Booker, was a young, impressive mayor of Newark, New Jersey. He was interested in making sure that there was less crime in Newark, New Jersey. He seems to be completely, the seesaw has completely gone in the other direction for Booker. And I think he really likes to hear himself talk because he pontificates quite a bit, from Spartacus to this particular performance.
Spartacus. Brian.
Couple of things. He didn't show up for the committee meetings. He's actually insulted.
That's pretty funny.
Thoughts?
Why would he lose his cool? I mean, he was always such a cool character before. So why did he lose his cool, man? Probably because he's losing the control that he thought he had. Now he's actually finding out that control is an illusion, even though he's a senator. And you know what, bro? You're a senator. It's your job. Why are you having a hard time getting to the floor? I mean, after all, that's where you're supposed to be.
It's your job.
It's it's not like you don't get paid enough, right? I mean, you get paid to show up there, right? So it seems like you should have nothing else to do with your time other than to represent, the state that which you were elected to represent there. So yeah, tough luck, man. Sorry about that. Get good.
Get good.
Get good. Get good at making it on time. Fire Nate says, likely exposure is coming too. I agree, Fire. I do believe that more and more exposures are coming out. Again, a lot of what we're seeing, like this whole skiff thing, the secret skiff that was supposedly, held, from the conservative sides or whatever, all of this information that was getting destroyed from the FBI that Kash just found. I'm going to say that this is all set up. It's set up for more and more information is going to be coming out. It's going to get real good here real soon.
It really is.
Oh, Cory Booker goes down the same way as Senator Alex Padilla. I think that there's going to be a lot of people going down here real quick, like.
Not in a good way.
Not in a good way.
You ready?
No. Yes.
How about some Kelly?
I was agreeing with you. And
Okay.
then, I was answering. Yeah, never mind. You get it.
Yeah, I got it.
All right.
I got it. Fire agrees with
Thank you.
Let's listen to Kelly.
All right, Kelly, we could use some Kelly.
Have you ever had somebody try and tell you, don't worry, God works everything for good? Yeah. That's cute. But did you read the whole verse? This isn't a universal promise. It's a targeted one. What Romans 8:28 actually says is, and we know that God causes everything to work together for the good of those who love God and are called according to his purpose. Oh, son, here we go. What this verse actually means is, if you're out here living for your own purpose, living every day for what you want to do, living your best life, all the while ignoring God's voice, come on, Kelly, it's not that big of a deal, man. I live the way I want. Everything seems to be all right. Yeah, it may feel like things are still working, but they ain't working for your good. Look, let's just be honest. Some people are out here getting dragged through hell by their own decisions and then blaming God for not turning it into a Hallmark ending. Nah. God is not your janitor. He's not here to clean up a mess that you won't even admit is yours. Listen, Linda. Yes, God is good. Yes, he can redeem any story. But the promise in Romans 8:28, that's not for everybody. It's for the surrendered. Now, I don't mean to step on your toes, but some of y'all be wanting God to work all things for good in your life, but you don't love God. You love being comfortable. You don't want to be called according to his purpose. You just want him to bless yours. But listen, my friends, this verse isn't about magic. It's about alignment. When you walk in purpose, pain still comes, but it produces something. But when you walk without him, pain just hurts. So let me encourage you today. If you've ever wondered why things don't seem to be working for your good, maybe it's time to check who you're working for. The good news is, if you want God to work all things for good in your life, he will. You just got to lay down your plans, your wants, your desires, your everything. Because the truth is, his plan for your life is perfect. Your plan for your life, however, yeah, not so much. I mean, come on. Who knows better how something works, the creation or its creator? And think about that for a minute.
Thoughts?
All right. So this is something that I've always, it hit me right away when I heard it was, and God works everything for his purpose. It's for him. It's for what he determines is good for all of us. And it's for those who follow him. And so, yes, it means that God does do things, but it also has to be in alignment with what his great divine plan is. And so it's not my will, but his will. It's, even Jesus, he had his very, very human moment. And he says, please take this cup from me, but not my will, your will. And that's what, we kind of need to understand. That's something that we really need to let go of is he's not the make-a-wish Jesus. He's not that, that God who makes everything happen that we want to have happen, because we don't understand the grand scheme of things. So it is important to understand that it's in his divine purpose. And sometimes that's a bitter pill to swallow. But then again, as we look back at what goes on in our life, the things that bad happened, the things that good that had happened, in the end, it looks like there was a greater purpose for it than what we had originally seen. And it's that greater purpose that we need to get comfortable with, because we are only here for the blink of an eye. Yeah, not Santa God. He ain't Santa God.
Not 911,
Yeah,
Jesus.
not vending machine God. No. I want C7. No, that's not that's not how it works.
No, he's not microwave Jesus. He's more like crock pot Jesus.
And it takes some time.
Takes
you
some
know,
time.
it's gonna take some time. And refiners, God, he's trying to refine the impurities out of all of us.
Exactly. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Would you read this, please? Right here.
Jeez. All right, here we go. Drone footage shows the aftermath of the. Okay, no, it's too small. I got to blow this up too. Drone footage shows the aftermath at the port of Severo-Kurilsk, Russia, following the tsunami. Foxhole God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's watch.
Mhm.
Devastation.
Wow. Okay, so there's no sound on this one. Tsunamis are awful, and there's a lot of speculation about what caused these earthquakes.
Look at that, though. The destruction of it all.
These things are awful.
Yeah.
Water is so destructive. Watch the water, friends.
Yep.
Pray for all the people over there.
And then before I ask
True
your thoughts,
devastation.
can you read that, please?
Yes. Doctors in Kamchatka, Russia, kept calm during the powerful quake and never stopped the surgery. Now that's impressive.
Now watch.
Михайловна отодвинула стульчик. Смотри, что
Он попадал там
А ты
что-то.
как держишь монитор?
Монитор держу, но
Так,
он как,
наш монитор,
он
наш
как
монитор
давай
видишь,
болтаться,
где?
мы его потом
А наш
сняли.
монитор тоже болтался?
Болтался, мы его потом на пол поставили.
Молодцы.
Now, thoughts.
All right. So earthquakes are devastating. They can certainly be devastating. And this is what true professionals do.
I don't think our doctors could do that.
Oh, that's horse pucky. I know that there's amazing doctors who do that every single time that there's been an earthquake. It's not something that you freak out with. And if you're a true professional, you are going to stick around because, well, this other person's life is in your hand. They're your responsibility at that point in time. So therefore, you know what? What else are you supposed to do? The building wasn't falling down around them. Nothing was really falling over for them. And so they drove on with what they're supposed to do. And I think sometimes that we need to remember that in the midst of all the chaos and uncertainty in the world, that we do need to stay focused on what it is we're here for and what it is we're doing in that moment. It doesn't pay to freak out, the screaming and madness that occurs whenever there's some kind of a disaster is unnecessary. It's the cool, calm, reserved nature that makes a huge difference in terms of how we can recover from disasters such as this. Definitely praying for all the people over there. And I know that there's a lot of potentials for tsunamis around the entire Pacific. So praying that everybody's going to be all right and that everything is going to be fine out there in Kamchatka. Jenny says, I know our West Coast is used to earthquakes, but they do happen in Russia as much like our West Coast. Yeah, the Ring of Fire is this one over here, Mike. Are you talking about this stupid light over here? We changed the light bulb out and it's not. I don't know.
It's just weird.
Yeah, it's just weird. Anyways, yeah, we send our prayers out to them. God bless everybody over there because they need it. And I guess that coast of Russia, China, it's all along the Ring of Fire. So sometimes we forget about the things that happen on the other side of the Pacific. It's a big thing. It happens. Sea Strike says there was 164 earthquakes around the world today from USGS.gov website. Boy, that's interesting.
Yeah. You ready?
Yeah, see, there it goes again.
I know.
And I changed the bulb. Obviously, we have a short, but I don't feel like messing with rental houses electrical.
No. You ready?
Don't think that's a wise idea.
No.
Anyways,
Would you read that, please?
Yes. U.S. may be in secret talks with Ukrainian officials to replace Zelensky.
You have to read this.
Oh, I got to read it?
Mhm.
Okay, here we go. Russia's Foreign Intelligence Service, the SVR, has claimed in a new statement published by TASS, state news agency, that U.S. and British officials recently met with senior Ukrainian figures in an undisclosed alpine resort in Europe to discuss the possible replacement of President Volodymyr Zelensky. The meeting allegedly included top Ukrainian officials such as Andrei Yermak, head of the presidential office, Kirill Budanov, head of Ukraine's military intelligence, Valery I'm going to butcher this, Zaluzny, the former commander-in-chief, now serving as Ukraine's ambassador to the United Kingdom. Bunch of things going on, and it's not a surprise. And now that I've seen this article, it kind of made me think that this has kind of been the play by Trump for the whole time, forcing Zelensky, taking there's a bunch of things going on. So Trump signed the trade deal and met with whatever her name is for the EU.
Yeah.
Now, a couple days before that, the EU had decided that they were going to nix all of the aid going to Ukraine because they figured out their corruption all of a sudden. And then Trump met with her. Usually deals like that are made, and President Trump did the grip and grin with the EU commissioner in Scotland after the EU had decided, okay, we're going to agree to the terms. We'll go ahead and stop aid to Ukraine. Ukraine just had some things where they're going to start recruiting like 65 years, anybody above 65, which is hideous for them to do.
Yeah.
There's all the information about the Ukrainian military snatching up people off of the streets. All of these bad things are happening. And I believe that's another one of the reasons why Russia hasn't just obliterated Ukraine. I think that a deal was in place between Trump and Putin a long time ago to just get rid of Zelensky because he's a real problem. Get somebody who's going to be more of an intermediary, somebody who's going to act as a better go-between, be a much more independent, but at the same time be friendly with Russia without being quite so buddy-buddy with all the European nations, without becoming a threat to Europe and what's going on over there. There's a lot of pieces of the puzzle that are getting put into place here, but what it seems like is they've just been kind of backing Zelensky further and further and further into his own corner, and now he can't do anything. Okay, he's weak enough. The whole he hasn't been working with the anti-corruption apparatus that's supposed to have been created in Ukraine. And now it's just like, okay, you've screwed up enough. We're going to go ahead and just find somebody to replace you because you haven't been allowing these democratic elections. You have no credibility whatsoever. So now is the time to go ahead and start, letting Zelensky know, okay, really nobody likes you. So we're just going to start dealing with people to replace you. So it's always been about replacing Zelensky. And it sounds like the people who are in various high levels of the Ukrainian government are willing to play ball because they see that they got nowhere to go. So yeah, looks like it's going to be a peaceful end here soon. Once we have that Ukrainian thing off of our plate, both as the U.S. and as Russia, it allows us to focus on some of these other maddening things that are going on around the world, and people can focus on other stuff. Also, the legacy media won't have that one more piece of ammunition where they can distract. Oh my God, all the bad things that are happening in Ukraine. Meanwhile, the information that's coming out about Epstein, et cetera, will be able to get the prominence in the press that they should be getting.
Yes.
Yeah. Big strategy happening. Looks like very well to me.
Very well.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be good.
We'll see.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Let's listen.
All right.
A generational curse is something is broken in the family. The kids grow up and they don't want to leave their mother and father and cleave to their spouse, so they stay within the broken system. And now that breaks their marriage, and their children grow up now in a multi-generational, broken, dysfunctional family system. And next thing you know, it's generational curses. It's like, why is this family so screwed up? Well, because nobody will leave and cleave. Everyone is stuck.
Thoughts?
So these are some real issues, and I'm not going to lay the blame on any one generation, but it's been going on for some generations, and there was some false directions that people have been going for a long time now. And it's not just one generation, it's many generations. And people are starting to take that step back, look around and say, yeah, things really suck. And from what we can remember, especially the Gen Xers, it's like we saw how our grandparents were. We saw how they were very different. But at the same time, we recognize that they were doing some things that weren't exactly good. And so we've been having this shaking up of society for quite some time. And so there's going to be a lot less of the hostility that was there. But at the same time, we're learning what is important in the world. And people are focusing on their kids and their grandkids, and all of these things come together to say, we got a lot of problems to fix. And really the best way to fix that is with a strong family unit. And these strong family units with strong male figures at the head of said family, these are the things that are going to have everybody else take a step back and say, that's enough of this crap. All right. So let's get our act together and stop causing so many problems. And people are getting ready to listen to that. These younger generations, they're pulling away from a lot of the stuff that society has been saying is important. And, the TV and everything the TV tells you, this really is a great awakening. Words are hard. This really is a great awakening, and people are actually turning to what's truly important, and they're turning to God for that guidance. This is what's good. And I do believe that our future generations are going to have a much better opportunity than we had. As we had, we were the latchkey kids. We were the ones, we had the key, we went into an empty house, and then we were pretty much on our own. And we did things for the most part pretty decently because we were in fear of getting our ass beat for doing the wrong thing. Well, there's a better way to do it. And that's what we're heading to. And so these are great reasons to rejoice, because a more God-focused life is going to be front and center in terms of what we as Americans and a lot of people around the world are doing.
Absolutely. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Would you read that, please?
All right. Nearly 400 pounds of meth found hidden in onions, Chandler police say.
Let's listen.
I guess the dogs were able to find it despite the smell of the onions, huh?
I guess.
You've heard of smuggling drugs in suitcases, gas tanks, all kinds of things. Chandler police uncovered a brand new layer, you might say. It involved a van, a traffic stop, and a bunch of onions and meth. Nearly 400 pounds of methamphetamine hidden inside these onion bags seized during a traffic stop near I-10 and Riggs Road. Police say the driver, Claudio Hernandez Perez, was arrested and now faces charges of transporting dangerous drugs for sale. The investigative team was a team effort involving Chandler PD, DPS, and Homeland Security. Officers say this is a powerful example of interagency teamwork.
Thoughts?
All right. So sounds like there's more and more things that are happening to keep the drugs out of our country. We're not hearing about them actually coming across the border anymore. And we're actually, hey, Dawn.
Hey, Don.
Uh, now we're actually starting to have larger busts here within our borders and in Arizona to boot. Geez, hadn't heard about, a lot of these kinds of things happen in Arizona for a while. So really happy to hear that. The fact that they tried to hide it in onions, I can only help but think that somebody was trying to fool the drug sniffing dogs, but I guess they really don't know how that works. 400 pounds, that a lot of people in a hurry to do nothing. Yeah, I'd rather have the onions, by the way.
Me too.
Yeah, if we could stop with this other malarkey, it'd be nice if we could just get food on people's plates.
That'd be great.
If we could stop being in this food sustenance, food poverty that so many people are in right now. But I know that Trump and co are all working on that.
Yeah. I love onions. I would have rather just had the onions.
Right? Got to ruin onions. Now those onions are just going to rot.
They're tainted.
Clowns.
You ready?
Yeah.
Would you read that, please?
All right. Oh, backwards. Oh, jeez. All right. And now I got a spot on here. All right. Democrats built their platform on emotional manipulation, victimhood, hate, and manufactured outrage.
Let's listen.
Surprise.
I know. Not to any of us, but
Yeah, I know.
some people will be surprised.
I'm not going to let them revert to Jim Crow. And if you don't think they want to revert to Jim Crow, just look what they did in the SAVE Act, which went back to took Jim Crow for the whole nation. By so making it hard, they said you need ID, and they made it so hard to show ID that probably half the people in America couldn't vote.
You see, this is what Democrats do, emotional manipulation. When someone talks about reverting to Jim Crow, they're talking about something that evokes deep racial trauma for Black Americans and deep historical injustices. It activates people emotionally. Republicans are worried about election integrity, and there's a fair reason that they should be worried about that. For one, Democrats are quite literally advertising sanctuary cities and sanctuary states, and they're actively fighting against federal law because they don't want to deport people who come here illegally. They quite literally incentivize them to come here illegally and then want to keep them here when they're here illegally. So seeing how hard Democrats fight to keep illegal immigrants in this country, it brings up concerns about them voting in elections or them supporting them voting in elections. It's intellectually dishonest for people like Chuck Schumer to come out here and say, well, they want to bring back Jim Crow. But again, it's not about being intellectually honest and telling the truth about what the goals are. The goal is to get people emotionally riled up in opposition against your enemy. That's very clearly his focus. It's not to be intellectually honest and have a nuanced conversation and get to a good result. It's to paint the Republicans as evil, racist, and bad and get people emotionally riled up. And again, this is why I say they rely on emotional manipulation and manufactured outrage and victimhood. Those are the things that Democrats typically get behind and push. And there's something subtle going on here if you pay attention. He's not saying the policies are bad. He's painting the people behind the policies as evil, essentially. So he's making it about the people saying they're bad and they have bad intentions, which emotionally charges people more, and it gets them in opposition to those people just regardless now because they're bad people. He's attacking the people more so than the issue, and that gets people to react emotionally. So yeah, I mean, it should be called out for what it is, emotional manipulation. Also, just a reminder, I have a free email newsletter where I go into more detail on many of these topics, and this is one of the only places I cannot be censored. Link to that is in my profile. Just go to my profile, click the link. You'll see this screen here when you click it. Drop your email and hit subscribe, and you'll be good to go. That's it for now. We'll see you in the next one.
Thoughts?
All right. So again, it's something we've been talking about. Either people are just recognizing that it's just blatant pandering. It's blatant that they're just trying to manipulate people. And it's becoming very obvious to more and more people. So they look more and more ridiculous. And as you listen to Chucky there, he didn't sound any different than he's ever sounded before, repeating the same old trope that he always has, along with all of the other race baiters. It's the thing is it's just people are just savvy to it now. And so it's making them a caricature of themselves. But the good thing is people are seeing through it. And so as they continue to try these things, it shows that we really have been taken advantage of, and it will probably ensure that people don't vote Democrat that used to vote Democrat for at least another 30 or 40 years, just because they continue on the same gas pedal that has always caused all these problems. There she is. Hey, Dawn.
There's Dawn.
Welcome over here now.
Yeah.
So it's good. It's good that people are waking up to it, and I'm glad that people are speaking out about it. It's Jim Crow laws. Were they evil? Yeah, 100%. And that's one of the things, by just merely associating Jim Crow with something, it has prevented so many things that could have prevented a lot of the problems that we have today. But we let our heartstrings get in the way. No, we don't want to piss anybody off. I understand. Go along to get along. And now people are just like, yeah, that's not going to work anymore. Your race card is overextended. We need to have that so we can cut that card up.
Basically.
Yeah.
Ugh. The Democrats are definitely desperate, like Fire said.
Oh, yeah.
They're so desperate right now.
100% desperate.
Yeah.
But keep it up.
Keep doing what you're doing, guys.
Keep doing what you're doing. It's really helping America out finally.
Yeah. Ready?
Yeah.
Would you read that, please?
Yes. Comedian Gerard Michaels notices an interesting trend since USAID shut down. I think we all have.
Read that one.
All right. Before we start that, Silver says, I felt what Jim Crow laws may have felt like when I was discriminated so harshly over the mask. I get what you're getting at, and the jab. It's all of those were forms of discrimination. I see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Let's listen.
E-News to end this year after 3 decades. Whoa.
Oh,
E-News
no.
is shutting down as well?
Now, going back to what you were talking about earlier with the insane asylums, will there be any Democrats left? Does anyone find it fascinating? And I'm sure it's purely coincidental that USAID was defunded last Monday. And by the end of the week, the DNC can't pay their staffers. The Late Show, the Tonight Show, with Stephen Colbert is completely canceled. Not a new host. They just got rid of it. And the E-News shuts down. It's almost like their financing and funding was coming from somewhere else. It's almost like they were complete and total propaganda arms of the Democratic machine being funded through NGOs, which were being funded through USAID, which were being funded by taxpayer dollars. Now, this circles all the way back to Obama and the Smith-Mundt Act, allowing for propaganda on U.S. soil by U.S. entities. And I just find the timing of it fascinating. Not to allege anything, you are a news program, and I am just a simple podcasting comedian.
No, it was a lot more than just E-News, and if you don't know who E-News is it was all about the celebrities, as if
Like we cared.
as if they ever mattered for anything other than just making movies, and that was another thing. It was the E-News and shows like that. They just perpetuated people's love of celebrities for some reason, as if knowing everything about a celebrity somehow helps out their life.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was always confusing to me. But yeah. Oh no, what a shame. People have to go maybe do some real reporting for a change or something.
Yeah. Calbear says, I don't know why it didn't come over.
No, it didn't come over.
But
now we know why. Now we know how all these shows stayed on despite terrible ratings. 100% Calbear, 100% on that one. They all of these things stuck around because they were getting funded in ways that they wouldn't have gotten funded otherwise. And I think this goes back. Did we talk about it yesterday?
What?
About how some of the news on Drudge Report actually goes to the archives instead of directly to some of these left-wing news sites. They have to link to archival sites now. Probably because they have that paywall in the way. And if you can't get past the paywall, you can't read the propaganda, news that they're talking about. And so if you want to get their perspective, you have to go to an archive site now. Now, with that being said, does that mean that the advertising dollars are drying up? Does that mean that all of these big megacorps don't have the money to advertise anymore, like Ford and GM? And the auto manufacturers are always big advertisers everywhere. And now all of a sudden they're not able to pay the advertising that they did before. What was actually keeping all of these news organizations afloat? I have no idea, but it is kind of funny that everything seems to be changing now. That the money spigot's been turned off.
Yeah. Interesting.
I'm sure it's not connected in any way whatsoever.
No.
It's probably just because of Trump's economy.
Yes, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what it's all about.
Yes, absolutely.
Mhm.
You ready?
Sure.
How about some Craig?
All righty. If you got the boot too. Yes, they did, Steph.
Yes, they did. That was a happy day.
Oh.
Let's listen.
The devil is a liar. He's the father of lies. The greatest weapon he has against you is a lie. The devil is going to lie to you to attack your children. The devil is going to lie to you to attack your relationship with God. The devil is going to lie to you to attack your marriage. And when it comes to your relationship, these are the most common lies the devil will tell you. The devil will tell you that love should be easy. If it's hard, it must be wrong. If it's not easy and it's not always tingly, if you have to work at it, it must not really be love, because love should be easy. And if it's hard, it must be wrong. The devil will tell you, if you're not happy, you must be with the wrong person. Because if you're with the right person, you would always feel happy and you would always feel joy and you would always feel content. But because you're not happy, you must marry the wrong person. So the right person must be out there somewhere, because you couldn't be married to the right person if you're not happy. Now, and the devil's going to tell you, if your needs aren't met, guess what? Because your happiness is above anything else, you have the right to look elsewhere. And that is how the devil attacks you. He lies. He is the father of lies. And he wants to convince you that what you don't have is better than what you do. So you better leave what you have and go after what you don't have. Gomer didn't need a different man. She needed a different mindset.
In the Bible.
Yeah, thank you, Gomer. All right. So
Thoughts.
It is a lie. Every relationship takes work. It's like a garden. If you don't water the garden, the fruits and vegetables ain't going to grow. The flowers ain't going to grow. You got to do the work. It requires 100%. And this is something Kay and I have said. It's 100% thing. It's not a relationship is not a 50-50 thing. That's 50% effort and 50% autopilot. And guess what you get? You get 50% of a relationship. That's how that works. If you got one person giving 100% and another person giving 50%, you only got what? 75% of a relationship. That's the way it is. You both have to put in the work. You both have to put in the effort. You're building something each and every day, and it requires that effort. It requires that work. And the more effort you put into something, guess what? The more you get out of it. It's what? I know, right? Crazy talk. But that's really what it is. And so put in the effort. Both parties. It doesn't matter, what kind of a relationship it is. What matters is are both people in that relationship putting in their entire selves of that relationship. That's how it works. And so what in the Bible says that don't worry about anything, I've got it. No, it doesn't say that. It's just like, turning to God. You still got to do the work. Just because you believe in him, go to church on Sunday and then you continue to act like yourself, doesn't mean you're going to be invited into the kingdom of heaven. Well, guess what? It works the same thing with your relationships in life. It's if you don't put in the work, you're not going to get anything out of it. And so why wouldn't it be a correlation the same, between your relationship with Christ, your relationship with your significant other, your relationship with your kids, your relationship with your friends, your relationship with your parents, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Put in the work. You'll get more out of it. Mike says, Love is like jogging 5 miles. Wait, that's not love. Sorry. No, there's nothing loving about jogging anything, Mike. No, that's a terrible analogy. Cal says, I just do 100% of what Silver wants, and that works fine. Oh, geez. Bunch of comedians over there.
I know. You're ready.
Married to the bear for 34 years. Congratulations, you two. That's absolutely amazing. And that tells me the truth, which is that you're both putting in the work. And that is a good thing. And it's nice to hear. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yep. You ready?
Yeah.
Would you read that, please?
All right. Jeez, did I get this thing spun around again? I did. Jeez, I need to learn how to use these things. All right. It's so many moving parts. Here's why Jasmine Crockett is trying a rebrand.
Ready?
Yes.
I know you've looked at every aspect of her career and her background, but she really wants to come across as someone who's kind of streetwise and almost at certain instances like she's from the street. But what's the truth here?
The truth is that is the farthest thing from the truth. Jasmine comes from a world that no little girl anywhere in our congressional district is going to have an opportunity to grow up and experience the same thing. We don't have schools in our district that cost $45,000, $55,000 per year to attend. And so it's weird that, she claims to fight for the people when clearly all she's fighting for is the donor class and for herself. She doesn't represent the people of TX30. People are aware of that. And that's why she's trying to rebrand and try to find her footing right now, because she's losing a lot of the support back here home.
Thoughts?
So, people trying to be something they're not, and it ends up not working out well in the end. Surprise! Huh? Who would have thought?
And she's so nasty to boot.
I'm not even going to go down that route. But what I am going to say is it's not anything that's going to work out well in the long run. Be honest with who you are. If you didn't grow up in the hood, don't try to pretend like you're from the hood. If you didn't grow up on the mean streets of whatever, don't try to pretend that you did. I was fortunate in that I had a wide range of different places to grow up, from pretty low income kind of stuff to some of the highest income brackets as a child. And I got to see so many things, and I got to learn so much about people all over the place. And there's good people and there's bad people. It has absolutely nothing to do with money. I can assure you that. What it does have to do with is that individual. And when that individual stands up on a podium and tries to pretend like, they're giving themselves some kind of cred that they didn't actually, live through. There's no credibility in having a lie about the fact that you grew up a certain way. It was one of the things that kind of hurt Vanilla Ice, if I remember correctly, because he was trying to act like some hard-ass pterodactyl, and he grew up in like Connecticut or something. And I don't think there's anything rough in Connecticut. But either way.
That's what happens, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, not to say that he's not a good person, that he, shouldn't have been able to do the things he did, but why? Yeah. And so it only taints what's going on. So how is this going to work out for her? I have no idea. But I have a feeling that people will feel betrayed by that, and she might not get elected for anything for a very long time until she can completely rebrand herself as a lot more honest. So I guess the best we can do is pray for her.
That's all we can do.
Mm-hmm.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Would you read that, please?
Certainly. HVAC technician explains how AI is even coming for blue-collar jobs.
Let's listen.
AI isn't coming for my job. I'm an HVAC technician. No, it is. It is. Nah, you're all screwed. You better get rich quick, because I literally was working on a unit. I had not a damn clue. It was better off speaking Chinese to me. I had no idea what was going on with it. Zero zip. I couldn't understand it. See these? I took a picture, took a video, explained what was happening. I gave the symptom. Within 35 seconds, it told me exactly what was wrong with the unit and how to fix it. AI is coming for your job, buddy. It is.
thought.
So this doesn't necessarily mean that AI is coming after your job. There's a long way before a computer has the ability to make a weld look like a row of dimes. And there's a long way off before AI can actually help somebody who has no idea what they're doing be able to perform tasks like HVAC technician kind of stuff, let alone the fact that people really don't want to go up into attics and deal with all of the fiberglass and the dust and all the, all of the finer details of it. And this is just HVAC alone. The chemicals that are used for the refrigerants are absolutely awful chemicals. So will we need people in the future? Yeah. Will people need to have some level of expertise to do what they're going to do? Yeah. It just means that it's going to make it easier for the people that are actually doing it for a living to be able to access the information that's out there. I know that there is a Dr. Google kind of thing going on where the doctors can type in a list of all of the symptoms. It's like WebMD, but a little bit more professional. And so they're able to figure out, it'd give them a list of all the things as opposed to flipping through a book, which is what they would have had to have done to begin with. Exactly, Carol. YouTube already teaches us how to fix things. It just doesn't teach us how to be professionals at it. There's a lot of things that AI is going to do. It's going to make people feel like they can do things that they can't do. But at the same time, there's going to be a lot of mistakes that happen because of that. And in the end, they're going to need some professionals. But, with Elon Musk trying to make not just Elon, but so many of these, big companies trying to make this iRobot army that's going to go out and do everything for us. In the end, what are we going to do if we get rid of all of these jobs? A machine-made pizza is not going to be a good pizza. It's somebody who actually sits there, who sits there and learns the craft of how to make a good dough, how to make a good sauce, how to, to put the right ratio of condiments on there and to actually put emotion into what they're doing because it's their craft and it's something they love. That's what's important. And that's what we've forgotten about is people have forgotten to do the things that they love. And then it will shine from there. We forgot a lot of these kinds of things. And that's why a lot of these people, it's easier for them to believe that all of the things that were built in the past were done by aliens, or that there were, some, antediluvian mud flood, Tartarian kind of stuff. And in all actuality, we still have the capability. People still have the ability to make stone buildings like that. It's just that we've gotten so used to putting up these Cracker Jack boxes, that take 60 days to build. The paperwork to get the approvals to get the house takes longer than to make the houses anymore. We're just learning that we as human beings need to remember what we're actually here for. And we're here to express beauty in the way that we were designed to specifically do that. We're learning, just like the AI. Sea Strike says, is AI taking our jobs over because we'll be so wealthy as humans that we don't have to work anymore except for humanitarian projects? Just a thought. And even then, can you put that back up, please? Why? Why would we want to do nothing? And what would you do with all of that time if you had nothing to do? See, it becomes kind of a hollow existence. We need to find the things that we want to do so that way we can do those. I think everybody just gets pushed into, we've been indoctrinated through our indoctrination system to tell us, oh, you got to go get a job and you got to go get a degree. You got to go get this check in the box. You got to join this organization. You got to do all these things so that way you can get ahead in life and you can succeed. And in the end, are you happy doing it? No. When I was a kid, I knew that I wanted to do wood shop and metal shop because I knew that I wanted to build things with my hands. But also at the same time, I knew I wanted to do military. So I did that one first. I wanted to do all this other stuff. But the way I was being pushed when I was young, and it's not any one person in particular, it was just, you don't want to work in the trades because, you don't want to be that kind of person. It's like, well, who the Who's that kind of person? And what's wrong with them? Because they look like they're pretty happy. My grandpa was a carpenter. He was one of the happiest men I ever knew in my life. He just swung a hammer. Well, nothing wrong with that. I remember he'd drive by, say, "Oh yeah, that I built the parking garage for the Mint. I built this thing for the Palace Station. I built this and that and the other thing." He built the Landmark. Half of the stuff that he built is blown up anymore. Viva Las Vegas! But that's the thing is you have a sense of pride when you put your heart into something, and so. AI and computers and robots, they can build some of the most beautiful things, but it doesn't necessarily mean that, it's going to be any better. As a matter of fact, it's going to be heartless, kind of like our world right now. That's why we're allowing these kinds of things to take over. It's just up to us to learn. And then the other problem that I see with this AI is people will... My fear, my concern is that as people use AI, that they're going to stop using their brain, they're going to stop using their heart, and they're just going to rely on it, and they're just going to go through the motions, and it will continue to put people on autopilot. And an autopilot world is exactly what it looks like right now, and quite honestly, I'm sick of it. I'd rather be around people who want to put their heart into things. There you go, Fire and 8. The trades are a blast. It's filled with good people. Angry, but good people. Sea Strike says, like I said the other night, unschoolia, yeah. As a matter of fact, let me look that up right now. Go ahead, Gay.
Mike says, I've made a great living in construction.
Mhm.
Hey, Aaron.
Hey, Aaron. There we go. Schoolia. All right, I got it.
And Silver and Cal, enjoy your skirt steaks.
It sounds amazing.
Ready?
Yes.
Would you read that, please?
All right. Kennedy scholar Ken McCarthy says JFK and RFK battled with the Israeli lobby and Zionist extremists.
Let's listen.
All righty.
There's no Algerian lobbying group that would funnel money to his campaign. He did this to do the right thing. All right. And a year later, he was dead. Okay. So during the summer of 1963, he and his brother, who's the attorney general, were fighting Israel on two fronts. One, Kennedy personally, JFK personally, he wrote the letters, or they were signed with his name. He wrote the letters, the telegrams, the cables, and we have all the correspondence, which was classified until just a few years ago, which is really weird. He was telling the Israelis, you cannot have a nuclear weapon, period. End of story. We need to see your labs. We need to see what you're doing. Now, on the brother side, Robert Kennedy, who was Attorney General, was telling the Israeli lobbyist groups, you got to register, just like everybody else. England registers, Canada registers, Australia registers. You've got to register too. And of course, they were using the endless delay tactics. So there was a secret war, and I call it secret. I call it a battle. It was secret because nobody knew about it at the time, and nobody knew about it as recently as the dawn of the 21st century. Right? So it was secret. I'm calling it a battle because it wasn't an all-out war, but it was a battle. It was serious, and each side had a position, and each side was digging in deep. And who was he fighting against? He was fighting against, in my opinion, extremist elements in Israel. Which, by the way, I don't know how many people know this. Did you know that Hannah Arendt, and am I pronouncing that right? Sometimes I read things that I don't know how to pronounce. The great sociologist
Arendt,
who spoke against fascism. She and Einstein wrote a letter to the New York Times in the 1940s saying, hey, these Zionist extremists are terrible. We shouldn't.
They even said fascists. Yeah.
Yeah. We should not invite them into our country to speak.
Right.
Now that's something I would bang that drum every day of the week.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
All right. So, freedom of speech, but I get what he's saying. But in terms of the lobbyists, yeah, you all got to register. There should be no favored nation. And that was something that our founding fathers always railed against, that we should have no alliances and that we should really be playing directly in the middle, and we stay out of foreign wars. We're just trying to be yeoman farmers and merchants. and we're just trying to get along and do the things that we were designed and destined to do without interference from outside nations, without interference from outside organizations. We should be able to hear what they have to say, but they should have no say over any of our politicians. Lobbying is something that most every American disagrees with. Either you represent the people, your constituents from your district, or you're listening to special interest groups. And this country looks like right now that all we've been listening to are special interest groups, and the special interests don't have our interest at heart. So yeah, we're sick and tired of the special interests. Lobbyists, go suck it, because you're not helping anything. As a matter of fact, you're bringing us to our own destruction. These are, what is it called? Self-destructive behaviors on a national scale.
Yeah.
Well, that's not good. So what do we need to do? Of course, this goes back to my love for the 30-1000 concept, 30-1000.org. And it brings the power back to the people at a level of power that the people had when this nation was first founded, because there used to be only around 30,000 constituents per representative district. And that's much better than what we have, because I think we're over 750,000 now per representative. I've gone to representatives and senators. They could give two shits about any human being that walks in there off the street, because we don't have the special interest money to be able to pay them off. And that's ridiculous. It's not the way it's supposed to be. So what do we need? We need something where we, the people, actually have the power. And we, the people, have given our power up ever since Woodrow Wilson, and he was just the catalyst to end it, kicked it up over the edge, because it was getting worse and worse and worse and worse over the years. We need to right this. And the best way to do that is for us, the people, to make sure that we have our power back the way it's supposed to be. And that will keep us out of wars. That will prevent Obamacares. That will prevent so many things. We just got to start taking care of ourselves again, and recognizing that we as individuals are have so much more power than what they tell us that we have. And it doesn't require any kind of violence. It doesn't require any kind of anger. It's just merely go back to your corner, because we got to fix your mess.
Yeah.
Because we allowed it to happen. We got to take our own responsibility for this too. All right. Thank you, Fire Nate.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Would you read that, please?
This one makes me so angry. CPS takes 3-year-old from parents, then leaves the child to die in a hot car while running personal errands. No, there's a video on there.
Is there?
I think so. Yeah, there it is.
The intense heat has claimed the life of a young child in Alabama after he was left in a hot car. Authorities say Kentorius Starks Jr. of Bessemer died Tuesday when in the custody of the state's Department of Human Resources. His father has visitation rights with his son every Tuesday. He says he hands his son off to someone with the agency and they take him back to daycare. But this past Tuesday, when the child's foster mother went to pick him up, Starks was not there. He was later found in the social worker's car in Birmingham, where he'd been for about 5 hours.
Time I knew how to count, knew his colors. 3 years old. Knew all the animals. I'm telling man, he was very intelligent.
Yes, he was, bro. He was real nice and all that.
Like, he was just joyful.
The agency says that employee has been fired. Police are investigating to determine whether any criminal charges should be filed.
To determine whether any criminal charges would be filed. Geez, what would the state of Alabama do if the parent did that? Would they file?
Would be in custody.
They would be in custody instantly. So why does this person get a favor? Why does this person get a innocent until proven guilty? Unlike how their CPS system would have treated those parents.
Right.
This isn't to say, and whether or not the parent was a good person or not is of absolutely no point whatsoever in terms of what happened to this child. What happened to this child was done by a government official.
5 hours.
5 hours. So, what should happen to this government employee who's supposed to protect these children? And now, should we really trust that organization to take care of people's children? I'm sure it was just this one individual, that there's not a culture of corruption in there whatsoever. I'm sure that has nothing to do with it, not at all. Stealing people's children is not something that the state should do.
No.
It's not helpful. I haven't heard too many good stories coming out of Child Protective Services out of every story that I've ever heard. Oh yeah, save that child. No, if nothing else, I hear that the kids get put into the state system and that things don't go very well after that. It's not helpful. And so this is another thing where we, the people, need to stand up and say enough is enough. And you need to hold yourselves accountable. I know you investigated yourselves and you determined that you did nothing wrong. Or you'll give us, a scapegoat. Come on. When it comes to a child, if there are classified documents, you need 2 people around them at all time. So why is that not the case with the human life? Why are there not 2 human beings watching after one child? It's almost as if the system is designed to be broken. Steph says, stay away from our children. Amen. Amen.
And what gets me is this person was running personal errands. For 5 hours and left a 3-year-old in the car for 5 hours. And they have to see if there are criminal charges that need to be filed.
What? Okay, so were they not conducting official business when the child was in the car? And so is that not a criminal act right there? Abusing and wasting, fraud, waste, and abuse of government time, money, and resources? Of course it's a fraud, waste, and abuse.
Yeah.
This person should be in jail. They should have been in jail as soon as the fire department was called to say, hey, there's something going on here. Steph says, if it's that bad, see if other family members that will take them, right? And they don't give people that opportunity.
No.
What if we send the kid over there? No. Well, we're involved now, and we're gonna make sure that your child is taken care of. Who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
They should be brought up as far as the law will go. Yeah. It's hot in Alabama. Yeah. I know. C-Strike says, I do pest control and I hate how people lock dogs up in kennels all day or chained up. And to me, it's no different than what they do to our children. I agree. I don't like seeing how people treat animals. And I know that people treat children even worse.
5 hours.
Okay.
5 hours.
Prayers, that's what's needed.
Yep.
God, please fix this country because we need it so bad.
Yeah. Ready?
Yes.
Let's listen.
Is this? Yeah. Okay, good.
Listen, you're called to love everybody. That doesn't mean you have to love everybody up close. Love does not mean access. I can love you, but that doesn't mean you get to be around my kids. I can love you, but that doesn't mean you have my number. I can love you. That doesn't mean we hang out every day. Because you know what I've learned in 19 years of ministry? There are some people who will take, and never give anything, and they'll still complain that I didn't give enough. That's a wasteful investment. That's not a wise one. I've learned to surround myself with people who give and contribute to a mutual relationship. I may be your pastor. I'm still a real person, by the way. That's not biblical. Jesus says, don't give to dogs what is sacred. Do not throw your pearls to pigs. If you do, they may trample them under their feet and turn and tear you to pieces. Jesus did not give himself to the crowds. He only gave himself to 12. Those 12 gave up their lives to walk with him. And even Jesus, the greatest pastor on the planet, still had a Judas. You think you can avoid it? You can't. There's still going to be a Judas in your life. But guess what? Judas was just a stepping stone for Jesus to get into that place of resurrection. Jesus needed Judas to be who God had called him to be. But you need to know the difference between a wise and a wasteful investment.
Thoughts?
All right. Great message. You know, we try to give our love out to everybody, and a lot of times we end up, you know, getting crushed over it. And that's going to keep happening until we recognize that we need to not necessarily close off our love, but be more selective with whom we give our time and energy to. And if people aren't doing things to make your life a little bit better, then they probably really don't need to be given so much of you. You are an amazing human being, each and every one of you. And you need to recognize that you do have value in this world. And if people aren't going to not only recognize the value that you bring to the table, but also provide value to you in return, so that way you can help each other up, you, your friends, your family, whomever it is, whatever the case is, make sure that you are being nourished just as much. It is important for us to not have to always give completely of ourselves and then not get filled up in return. What would that even be for? What's the point of that? That's not building anything. That's just making somebody else's life better that's not treating you the way you deserve to be treated. Make sure that you are getting fulfilled by the people that say that they're there for you. Are their actions matching their words? Those are the things that are important. And it doesn't mean throw people away right off the bat because they're not, you know, doing the things that, you know, you would like them to do, because there's a difference between likes and needs. But at the same time, if you're not feeling good when you're putting in all of your heart and soul into a friendship, relationship, whatever the case is, then you're getting taken advantage of. Don't allow yourself to be taken advantage of. Like he said, don't cast your pearls to swine, because they'll just trample on them. And they'll come and attack you for it afterwards. C-Strike says, we are all kings and queens. They don't want us to know that. Christ is in all of us. God is in our DNA. Amen.
Amen.
100%.
You ready?
Yeah.
Would you read this, please?
Sure. All right. Kelly Loeffler explains why one big beautiful bill will be rocket fuel for Trump's economy.
Let's listen.
All right.
Well, President Trump's right. The one big beautiful bill is going to be rocket fuel for this rocket ship that President Trump has created. I mean, we see the economy performing across everything, jobs, lower inflation. We see now tax cuts, deregulation. The one big beautiful bill is the largest working family, small business tax cut our country has ever seen. So it's going to supercharge investment. We've already seen $17 trillion pouring into this country. But for small business, it means making permanent that 20% pass-through deduction, 100% expensing for capital purchases and for R&D. We're going to see a CapEx boom. We're already seeing hiring taking off. We know, as I've walked factory floors with small businesses, most of our manufacturers in America are small businesses. They're spring-loaded to invest, to grow, and to hire. And Main Street already has confidence and optimism coming back. It's above the 51-year average in terms of small business optimism. Right. And so the one big beautiful bill is going to supercharge this great economy that President Trump is building.
Thoughts?
All right. Well, the left was certainly upset about the big, beautiful bill, and they're still talking trash about it. So it must be a good thing, right? But regardless, things are going to improve. I know that things don't exactly look like they're the greatest right now, but you have to build a solid foundation before you can put the sticks up for the rest of the house. And I think that the foundation is being built, and I think the big, beautiful bill certainly is playing a part in that. We just have to get the gears of the economy running again, that the previous administration, which was trying to sabotage the gears of our nation, we got to fix it first. And you know what? We're heading in that direction. There are reasons to be optimistic, and we should always be optimistic, because regardless of whether or not these people try anything to destroy this country, as long as we're doing our part, God's going to take care of us. I do believe that, and that we can move forward. And so have that positivity and know that things are looking up. I know that there are people in different pockets of this nation and different sectors of business that are starting to see some improvements. The fact that these illegal aliens are getting taken out of, like that fire extinguisher place out of the Carolinas, the pot farm in California, these other places up in Colorado and all over the nation. These things are happening. And so therefore, it's going to get better, and people are starting to get jobs. But once the wheels of this economy start moving again, watch out, because it's going to be difficult to stop this train once it gets going.
Amen.
Yeah, right over there? Okay.
Just doing comments. Ready?
Yes, I am.
Would you read that, please?
All right. Jesse Waters addresses the Sydney Sweeney scandal that isn't.
Let's listen.
All right.
Marketing campaigns don't just sell products, they drive culture. And there's nothing more American than blue jeans.
The secret of life lies hidden in the genetic code. Genes are fundamental in determining the characteristics of an individual and passing on these characteristics to succeeding generations. Occasionally, certain conditions produce a structural change in the gene, which will bring about the process of evolution.
Somewhere along the way, Madison Avenue went woke. Being healthy and fit was replaced by body positivity and radical inclusion. Americans hated it because you can't manufacture the beauty standard. We know what looks good and what doesn't. It's instinctual. And now that the golden age has returned, so have movie stars in tight jeans.
But if you said that you want to buy the jeans, I'm not going to stop you.
Sydney Sweeney has very jeans.
You see what I did there, right? Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Most Americans don't see a problem with that ad. They like it. And since the campaign dropped, American Eagle's stock is up 15%. But liberals saw a white woman with blonde hair and blue eyes and thought she was ushering in the Fourth Reich.
Hey, American Eagle, now do black and brown women. Because black and brown women also have great genes that they inherit from their parents. Did you know that?
Talking about blue jeans and white people, boycott American Eagle. Boycott the out of them.
A blonde-haired, blue-eyed white woman is talking about her good genes. Like, that is Nazi propaganda.
I don't know Sydney personally, but something tells me she's not a Nazi. And neither's the CEO of American Eagle, because he's Jewish. But that doesn't matter to the left. Nothing matters. They've demonized whiteness to the point that anything attractive and white is seen as an attack on anyone who isn't.
Does Sydney Sweeney know just how eugenicist and awful that ad was? Is she complicit in this, or is she just unaware?
Since Sydney Sweeney decided to do that little ad she did, I want to find some alternatives to Aerie. I really need new underwear.
American Eagle is like the last place on the list that I would think to do some like highly like non-inclusive and blonde hair, blue eyes gig. Like honestly, I'm stunned. I'm shocked. I'm clutching my gold.
Legacy Media is race baiting too. Good Morning America, they ran a little segment connecting Sweeney to the Holocaust.
In one ad, the blonde-haired, blue-eyed actress talks about genes as in DNA being passed down from her parents.
The play on words is being compared to Nazi propaganda with racial undertones.
The pun, good genes, activates troubling historical associations for this country.
Really? This ad's only a problem for the insecure. Having good genes makes you attractive. It doesn't necessarily make you white. Beyonce sold jeans for Levi's. People buy products from good-looking sales girls. It's been that way since the beginning of time. Sex sells. Ever heard of that? And being attracted to good-looking people isn't new. It's biological. You can even ask Barack.
For the gentlemen out there who are not yet married, let me just explain to you, your goal is to improve your gene pool by marrying somebody who is superior to you.
Thoughts?
All right. Well, the good thing is it's always been a woke company. And just in case you didn't know why they were a woke company, I just went ahead and pulled up on Yahoo Finance, American Eagle Outfitters Inc. They're down 26 cents, by the way, 2.25%. But major holders, top institutional holders. Let's see. Oh, BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street. Oh, wow. It's just a lot of the same old players. So if they wanted to convince me not to buy their crap, that would have been a much better job. But I guess the good thing is now the left isn't going to be buying it. I don't know. We'll see how it works out. But you know what? This is what TV gets you, is it gets you a lot of the same old stuff. So you know what? If you want to buy their, Nazi stuff. I mean, it seems like BlackRock, Vanguard, they seem to really support all that Nazi kind of stuff. I could be wrong, but whatever. Anyways, if you want to support them, by all means, go buy American Eagle. Liberty says, notice the ones complaining are ugly, heart, soul, mind, and especially body. Yeah, that seems to be kind of a thing too. Yeah, and a Hispanic girl on another one. Maybe they'll take turns, but I don't find defensive, or I don't find it offensive. None of it. They just tried to do that division thing. And it's another way for the press to go ahead and give them a whole bunch of free advertising. In the end, how much of this crap really is an effort to try to give them advertising? They just pay for their advertising differently. It's like, if you want something done in Congress, you don't actually convince the people that this is what's best for them. You just convince one or two senators, maybe some congressmen, however you choose to convince them, be it through favors or jets or, vacations, or maybe a donation to their favorite charity, or maybe a donation to their, campaign. Who knows what it is? It's just another way of doing the same old tactics. Carol says, no to BlackRock. Amen to that one. The evil do anything to cause division. Yeah. And you know what? If they're using division to even be part of their conversation, then maybe it's not helpful. I don't know. Of course, then again, maybe I cause division on here. I don't try to, but sometimes you got to call things for what they are.
Yeah. You ready?
Yep.
Would you read that, please?
And I'm wondering if the little nose ring actually provides some kind of extra, acts as an antenna to go straight to the brain, so that way these people know how to repeat all the talking points better.
I don't know.
It's like an antenna or something.
I don't know.
I don't know. Whatever. Anyways, all right, moving on.
Would you read that, please?
All right. Howard Lutnick explains how he and President Trump accomplished the EU trade deal triumph.
Exactly.
Yeah,
stuff.
maybe a personal donation to their wallet, or maybe a donation to their personal wallet.
Let's listen.
Mm-hmm.
Even the mainstream media who hates us is bragging on this trade deal. Play cut 328.
The early reviews are in on the new trade deal announced with the European Union. The Financial Times says the deal marks a victory for Trump.
Is this a fantastic deal then struck by Donald Trump?
Absolutely a victory on behalf of the Trump administration.
Well, the bottom line is this is the biggest trade deal in President Trump's effort to effectively reshape the global trading order.
On this deal, the European Union, this is a big win for the U.S.
The bigger picture is that Trump is still very much pursuing his longer-term goal of achieving what he perceives to be fairness for America.
It's a triumph of a lot of things. Certainly, the president ought to take a victory lap. I think it ends up being good for the European Union.
I mean, Secretary Lutnick, they're doing my job for me. Your reaction?
Oh, I mean, that's why I have the most fun job in the cabinet. I get to set the table. I mean, I met with the European Union representatives 40 times. And in the beginning, they were basically giving me the middle finger. We were nowhere. They wouldn't even respond to us. And they didn't respond until Donald Trump sent them a letter saying, if you're not going to respond, pay 50%. And then all of a sudden that changed. right? They started responding. And then he sent them another letter saying, look, you guys are doing a little bit, so 30%. And then, boom, off we went until they offered to open their markets completely, pay us 15%. But the key to why they did that is the sectoral tariffs, the tariffs on autos, the tariffs that are coming on pharmaceuticals, the tariffs that are coming on semiconductors, because Donald Trump is the U.S. is the biggest customer in the world. We were going to take all those industries back to America. And basically what he told Europe, if you want to keep half, you better do a deal with me.
Thoughts?
I mean, that's the kind of negotiation tactics that we've needed. Well, honestly, we shouldn't have to, but because we've been run by such milquetoast kind of presidents for so long, we need to have somebody that comes in like a Teddy Roosevelt, that bull moose, come in and tell everybody how it is, and that's what we've needed. And of course, the left, is gonna, oh no, he's so mean, he's so brash, he's so blah 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 blah. Get over yourselves. How about this? This is what they need. This is why they needed to be talked to. You don't want to play? All right, fine, 50%. Because why? Because we buy more crap than everybody else.
Yeah.
Maybe if we weren't such big consumers, we wouldn't have that much we wouldn't be able to give President Trump that kind of power. But that's another conversation about our consumerism and, how right, what was it? They Live was. Regardless, we needed President Trump to be able to force this to happen. And it's still up to us to try to make sure that we are buying local, that we are buying from people that are closer to us rather than people that are further away from us. And the reasons for us purchasing things from overseas was because it gave us an opportunity to have something from craftsmen, from people who are artisans, actually artist level quality of work. A BMW actually used to be something other than a Chevy. It used to be a very fine automobile, and it's still really nice, but in the end, it's kind of lost its soul. It's not the practically, club race car that it was. It's not. It's some super technical thing, and that's not what BMW was. It was very technical in terms of the engineering that was put in, the mechanical engineering that was put into it, and now all of the engineering is on all this electric crap, and they pushed all of this woke agenda, and it's just not the same anymore. These companies have lost their soul because they got used to selling to a whole bunch of IKEA customers that have too much money, more money than sense. We need to get back to the roots, and President Trump is going to help us with that, because tariffs on things like that are going to make us buy American cars again. But then again, at the same time, the American car manufacturers are starting to wake up to the fact that people don't like all the woke crap that they've been pushing on us anyway.
Yeah.
So in the end, a lot of things are going to get fixed, but it's up to us to make sure that we're actually making decent purchase decisions as we move forward. Steph says, I think the tariffs are going to be a good thing. Just got to get them up and running. Might be a little slow crawl in the beginning, but after it takes off, hold on. And I agree with you there. Sea Strike says, They Live was an awakening movie for me back in the day. That's awesome. Steph says, bring mom and pop stores back. Amen. Wonder which giant megacorp got rid of all the mom and pops. That's for another conversation for another day. But I think we all kind of know which mart that kind of might be. Anyways, yeah, bring the mom and pop stores back, and car manufacturing, and our steel manufacturing, and our energy manufacturing. Well, I think Nippon Steel bought American Steel, but yeah, that's got to make deals wherever we can. But you know what? Japan has been good to us, sort of.
Yeah. You ready?
Yeah.
Could you read that, please?
Diabolical depopulationist Bill Gates on highly controversial mRNA. We just need to mess around.
Let's listen.
Making the mRNA is really easy and really cheap. And that's the magic of this thing. But there's no doubt in the next 5 years, we can, we just need to mess around. There's a lot of lipid nanoparticles, and some are very self-assembling. There's no inherent reason it's not thermostable, it's not cheap. and it's not scalable. And so as over the 5 years, we fix that part of it, mature it, which is very typical, we'll be able to build factories worldwide that can make $2 vaccines with even less lead time than we've had to have here during this pandemic. And we'll use those, as you suggest. For every disease that we don't have vaccines, we will try mRNA. In fact, for HIV, we have multiple ways. One that's more of a B cell approach, one that's more of a T cell approach. You know, for malaria, we have multiple ideas. For TB, we have multiple ideas. And so to fill in the missing vaccines, we'll make a lot of our bets of the Gates Foundation and others who care about global health will be mRNA focused.
Thoughts?
I just don't trust that person.
Yeah.
Okay. All you have to do to find out whether or not you want any of that crap before he started adding the mRNA to it was to find out how the people in the entire continent of Africa feel about Bill Gates and all of his medical not experimentation. Well, whatever, medical experimentation. And it has ruined so many people's lives over there, and they want nothing to do with whatever he's peddling. Whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, the rumors are rumors, right? I mean, who really knows in the end? I really don't want proof for that one. I'm good. I just want Bill Gates to stop.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Go away.
Go away.
Go away. And your program sucks. It stopped being good after 3.11 for work groups.
Well, there's that.
Yeah.
He's an idiot. It's an idiot. Whatever.
That's one
Ready?
way to put it. Sure.
Let's listen.
All right.
Notice it says give thanks in all circumstances. It didn't say be thankful for all circumstances. It says give thanks in all circumstances. I can be thankful in my circumstance because the goodness, favor, and love of God is with me even in that situation, even in that trial, even in that tribulation. That the tribulation and circumstance don't define me because the covenant faithfulness of God defines my verdict in my situation. Come hell or high water, God will see me through. He saw me through back then. He will see me through today and tomorrow. He is always faithful to his promise. You look at the children of Israel in the Old Testament. God brought them out of Egypt with a mighty hand. He delivered them from Pharaoh's grasp. He brought them through the Red Sea. He opened up the sea so they could walk through on dry ground. He says, I'm not the God of a dead end. I'm the God who makes a way. I'm the God who parts the sea so you can walk through on dry ground. I am the provider, the Alpha and the Omega. If you come to me, I will always make a way. That is your God. That is the one whom you put faith in.
Thoughts?
Okay, so I do give thanks for everything, to include the things that I hate. It's been a practice that I've been working on because it helps me see that things are for my growth. Okay, so let's go with the whole Bill Gates thing. He's been so evil to so much of the planet. I mean, he's a eugenicist. And he has tons of money and power in which to be able to commit some of the worst atrocities. But at the same time, Bill Gates has also helped a lot of people wake up to that fact by being the very person that people can point to as what a eugenicist is and what they do. So as hateful and as evil of the things that has happened from Bill Gates, that is, we should recognize that good will come out of it. And it can be difficult, especially if we have family members that have autism, that have the injuries from the creations that came out of the very depopulationist kind of programs that he's created. The good thing is that it's going to stop, and it's going to wake us up to the real problems that are out there. So that way more and more people can say, look, this is what a bad person is, and this is what they do to us if we don't pay attention to what they say and what they're doing and who they're hanging out with. It is waking people up, and it will create, God, who made penicillin? I can't remember.
Louis Pasteur?
No, pasteurization. Anyways, name isn't of the most important right now, but actually experimented on themselves. And those are the kind of scientists that I want. I want the scientists to say, I'm going to experiment on my own body before I give it to any other human being on this planet. I think that those are the kind of scientists that we actually need again. The ones that take personal accountability and personal responsibility and aren't worried about the bottom line to their own pocket and their own life, because that's not what fixes anything. It's people with an open heart that are trying to make this world that we live in a better place, so that way we all have a decent opportunity to do the right thing and be rewarded for the efforts, the fruits of our labor, as opposed to these people taking all of our money from us. It's just not the way it's supposed to be. So thank God that all of these people are out there, because they really are complete assholes about everything in life. And it's finally making people take a step back and look around and say, what on earth are we doing here? And so we're waking up. Thank God.
Yeah.
I'm just sad that it had to happen this way, but you know what? He works in so many ways. So in all circumstances, in all situations, we should give thanks and recognize that it is for his good through all of the pain and suffering that we have to go through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating, though. I mean, you can see it in the comments.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's very frustrating
Mm-hmm.
for people.
It is. It is.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Let's listen.
All right.
You're going to realize it one day, that happiness was never about your job or your degree or being in a relationship. Happiness was never about following in the footsteps of all of those who came before you. It was never about being like the others. One day, you're going to see it. That happiness was always about the discovery, the hope, the listening to your heart and following it wherever it chose to go. Happiness was always about being kinder to yourself. It was always about embracing the person you were becoming. One day, you will understand that happiness was always about learning how to live with yourself. That your happiness was never in the hands of others. It was always about you. It was always about you.
All right. Thoughts?
As we go through life, we recognize we try to make our lives a little bit better, and we recognize that our charitable hearts want to make and please other people. We're people pleasers. It's what human beings do. It when we see other people smile, it's like, oh, hey, that makes me feel good too. And so we do try to be people pleasers. We do try to do things that make other people happy. We do try to achieve success and accolades and all of these other things in life. Oh, look what I did. And then as we go on in life, we have stumbles and falls, and we start to recognize no matter how much we chase all of these hollow things, that they don't really make us happy. I mean, obviously making other people happy can help us, but we can do it to a self-destructive level, in which case we kind of talked about that a little bit earlier, but I digress. So we need to recognize what makes us happy. And when we stop feeling happy about something, we need to ask ourselves, do I really need to still keep doing this? What am I doing this for? We need to understand who we are. You got to understand who the person is inside. And to make yourself happy, we need to make sure that we're doing things that are more fulfilling, things that are going to, the Germans have a way with words, Schadenfreude. We may get a giggle about somebody else's pain, but that doesn't mean that that's really going to bring us joy in the end. And so it's part of this growth process that we have to go through. So make sure that you're taking care of yourself. And this has been said, and it was said to me a long time ago. It pissed me off when I first heard it, but it makes so much sense now. And it's, you can't fill an empty cup with an empty pitcher. And so if you want to fill other people up, you must fill yourself first. You must fill yourself with that joy and love. Otherwise, people can't get that joy and love out of you. And so make sure that you're taking care of you. And then it will make the gifts that you're able to provide others so much better. And those are the things that will end up making all of us lift each other up, because in the end, we're all doing better because we all care about something greater than ourselves.
Amen. Amen. That was perfect.
Seasoning?
Nope.
Nope.
That was perfect.
All right. Thank you. All right. Well, I guess that's pretty much it for tonight. We really appreciate each and every one of you joining us, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Rumble, Locals, and Pill.net.
And if you haven't already, please take a minute and give us that virtual hug. If you're over on Rumble or YouTube, hit that thumbs up. If you're over on Pill.net, take that red pill. And if you're over on Facebook, just hit the heart.
Oh, wait, hold on. Does it hit differently if I have the monocle on?
Yes, it's great.
I don't know. It kind of looks weird. I don't know. It looks different now that oh God.
There's Randoon.
Hey, Randoon. I'm kind of feeling like I missed the hair now already.
Oh my gosh. Whatever. We'll see you guys
She was
tomorrow.
getting pissed. I had to shave it. Happy wife, happy life. 100%, right? All right, everybody. We love you all. Have a great night. Be safe, and God bless each and every one of you.